there is a cost for each email address. So that's part of what we'll be assessing as we go into the budget for next year. Corey, I have a question for you. I'd kind of like to hear your opinion of the last Conservation Commission meeting and what happened.
Is this one of those times where it's everything's all discombobulated? We all have them, and it was very unorganized, and so something we're going to have to talk about as a committee about that.
So, in your opinion, did the committee agree to write a letter to DES Wetlands Division?
Yes. Did we vote on it? No, we did not vote on that. But as a committee, we were.
It's on video. It's on video.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Vanessa, who's supposed to be recusing herself, is saying, so I guess nobody wants to write a letter.
Mm-hmm.
And then nobody said anything. And then she says, as I take that as a yes. So that assumed that on the video that yes is that nobody wants to write a letter. There was no motion. There was no vote.
No motion, yeah.
Nobody got to see the letter. And she said that it was from the Dalton Conservation Commission. It was not from the Dalton Conservation Commission because we didn't even see it. Nancy, did, right?
Yeah, you're right. We didn't see it coordinated. We didn't
agree on it.
We didn't vote on it. We didn't see it. The written form to look it over at all.
Okay. That's something that we're going to have to work on as a committee to, go through this.
But the problem is there's a letter that says Dalton, from the Dalton Conservation Commission, and it's not from the Dalton Conservation Commission.
I thought when I was sitting in that chair, I thought we discussed about something.
I can show the video. She said, are we going to write a letter? Nobody said anything, and then Nancy said, I'm going to write my own.
Earlier I said, well, any one person can write a letter. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then she said, well, you can write your own letter if you don't want to be part of ours, which is not what I was saying at all. But nobody spoke up, gave any ideas for the letter. Nobody spoke up about, yeah, let's write a letter. Let's send it to DES. That was done by one person,
Right.
which isn't where it should be.
So who wrote the letter?
I believe Vanessa did.
Okay, so, and did you approve it?
No.
Did you see it before it was sent?
I believe, let me look to make sure.
Because the letter was not sent out to the Conservation Commission email, even before it was sent.
Okay.
There was no conversation about it. I mean, so basically you're saying that Vanessa wrote it and then just sent it, is what you just said.
Well, I
She
believe
send it as a member?
She can send it as a member, sign her own name. She can't send it as from the commission if it's not from the
How did she
commission.
sign it?
She signed it, no, Dalton Conservation Commission.
And she's a member of that.
She is the secretary, but it wasn't voted on. It's not from the Dalton Conservation Commission because we didn't know about it. We didn't see it. We didn't motion it, and we didn't vote on it.
And is that a conflict? Isn't she supposed to recuse herself?
well,
from this?
unfortunately, she is a secretary, so she has to do her job as a secretary. She may
I
recuse
still
herself
think
from the
you have to
meeting.
Recuse yourself. If it's,
She recused herself from the meeting.
She did
But
not.
she's
She was
still-
talking the whole time during the meeting.
No, wait a minute. She recused herself from talking about the issues with Casella. The rest of the meeting, she can talk about what we're going over.
The whole meeting was going over the visit, the walkthrough.
and what was the letter about?
It was about the DES permit for the landfill.
Which she should be recusing herself from.
Correct.
Well, you didn't tell her to send it. She just did it on her own.
Right. And if she wants to sign her name, that's fine. but you can't misrepresent that it's from the Conservation
Well, what do
Commission.
you do to change that?
What?
What are you gonna do to change that? What are you
Well,
gonna do about it?
I think that Corey needs to reach out to DES and say, this letter was not from the commission. And then if they wanna resubmit,
Then he wasn't even sure what he was supposed to do. Pretty vague on what he should do and what he shouldn't do.
So
he's the chair, right? And
Right,
you've been on a committee, right? You're on the select board. You understand the importance of proper procedure, because you can get in trouble if you don't, right?
Right, but when they send something out without your knowledge.
Right, I agree. Oh, I agree. Did she send it out without your knowledge, Corey?
I did not get an email on that, no.
Okay, so she basically, Vanessa sent it out without your knowledge.
That would be the case, unfortunately.
All right.
I was just looking to make sure through my things.
Because it certainly didn't go out to the Conservation Commission email, because we didn't get a copy of it.
Okay.
Have you seen the letter, Corey?
I have not seen the letter. I'm trying to find it. Like I said, obviously, again, I'm using the,
You got a copy of it?
I do.
You want me to make
Why didn't you give it to him to get it?
Yeah, I didn't know you didn't have a copy of it. I have it on, I can actually,
He-
You want me to make copies?
no, I can just put it up.
Oh, put it on here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah.
want the physical one?
yes, please.
Okay, here it is, Corey, it's already on the TV too.
Well, the Dalton Conservation Commission would like to, so that's referring to you as a group.
Right.
Corey's name's in there, wait a minute.
Yes.
Attendance Commission, Corey, Vice Chair, Doug Ingerson, also Landowners who has recused himself, but the attendance Secretary, girlfriend to Doug Ingerson, who also recused her relationship status with Douglas, Nancy Camo, Christine Roulard, and interested returning member David Roulard.
I think that's David Spreadbury.
I think.
Okay.
So. That's not recusing yourself. I mean, it says you guys are all there.
It's not signed, right?
It's not. So that's the other thing, is it just says it's from Dalton Conservation Commission, which it's obviously not.
And where did this letter?
It was sent from Vanessa's email to DES.
Did they get in touch with you?
It was sent out with the permit, so there, like, a lot of people commented on it, but what they sent out on November 18th was the last day for public comment, so at the end of the 18th, they sent out their response to the permit that was put in. They sent out a letter from the Amanuense Trust, I think, and then they sent out a letter that was sent in by the Bethlehem Conservation Commission, and then the Dalton Conservation Commission. So it's a big deal when a local land use board chimes in, it has a lot of weight. So it's important, and that's why to send a letter that says it's from the commission when it's not is
Fraud.
It's bad, yeah.
Fraud.
And especially
Wait,
when,
you just send another letter verifying that?
well, I think that this needs to be corrected because, you know, this is,
Exactly.
especially in light of the fact it's from the landowner, which makes it even worse. But from the Dalton Conservation Commission, we didn't review it, we didn't approve it, So I think the only person that really can rectify the situation is the chair, is to contact DES and say, please rescind this letter because it was not from the Conservation Commission.
So you're saying that's done in malice, is that what you're trying to say?
I'm just saying it was not done following proper procedure.
Just give the question, kind of.
Yeah, I know, and it's not,
If you have the
it's something
information,
on
you can
Cory,
put it
we're
out.
just, you
No,
know,
not
I
with Cory.
think they're just trying to find out if,
Right.
or if we knew about the letter, it's not like anything directed towards Cory.
No.
But
No,
he's the
no, I
chair,
thought I
so
was
that's
saying.
why we're asking.
I don't know if that was a courtesy letter from her to them, I don't know that.
Well,
So
it
But
is-
if
it
it's
has
using
to
the
be
Dalton
further out.
Conservation Commission, then if they didn't write it, then it should be rescinded, and if she wants to write a personal letter, that's one thing.
Right.
But that's saying the conservation did it, and you're saying you didn't write that letter.
I did not write that letter.
There.
I didn't read that.
So therefore, it should be taken down under the name of the Dalton Conservation Commission.
Right. Right.
If Vanessa wants to put her own letter and sign it Vanessa, whatever, then that's one thing, but this is representing the Conservation Commission of Dalton. And these guys are saying they did not vote on it, correct?
Right.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what to.
I mean, I'm going to chime in here. It seems appropriate that the commission meet again sooner rather than later to have a consensus on what the letter should say or not say.
Joe Beth, so the period for public comment is over. So
That's true, but there's going to be,
So the point here is that this letter did not come from the Dalton Conservation Commission. That's the point. I mean, if anybody wants to do a letter on their own or whatever, that's fine, but this didn't come from the Dalton Conservation Commission, and that needs to be cleared up, because as the liaison there.
Well, who needs to clear it up, Tim, or the select board?
Well, it would be nice if Cory did, just sent a letter in. That would be much better. It'd be more simple, it's less divisive, and just if you write a letter saying this was not from the commission.
Can I have are you guys able to send me the contact information?
I certainly
To
will.
that?
Yep, let me send it to your private one until you get the other
Yes,
information.
so you go ahead and look, this
Okay.
time a big matter, so yes, you can send that to my private email,
Okay,
and I will write them to, tell them to recuse it too.
okay, that sounds good. Well, we appreciate you coming in and talking about it, because we had like 4 or 5 letters.
Well, like I said, I mean, I got this email, I'm a little concerned, because I got this email on Sunday at 8 o'clock,
Okay,
and it said Joe Bat, sent from Joe Bat,
right,
so I'm like, what?
What's going on?
I mean, I got the email in my pocket, and like,
right,
so,
right,
please excuse the,
yeah,
didn't have a chance, because we all
Oh,
were
yeah.
trying to get a chance to get everything together,
Yeah.
but.
no, we don't mean to blindside you. We're just trying to find out what's going on in terms of process and just making sure that the Conservation Commission
Well, like I said, last meeting was
as a group.
not
and
one to remember. They haven't been like that in the past, and it's evidently that was one of those nights that people butted heads. And hopefully, as a committee, we can all get together and rack this all together and work as a committee, because that's our job, is to give you information about it. I mean, in the thing, it stated that you want a little more insight on the
Yeah.
wetlands application.
right.
I mean,
Right.
that's,
So we do have letters from townspeople asking us to pursue something, and
Tell them you did.
Who's the townspeople?
I don't,
There's letters up here if people want to see them.
you know, that.
What?
I mean,
Postman.
John, I'm up here, you can, Alright. Share.
Do you need the names or?
No, I have, those are sent. So this one, is from Lucid Bowl, Franconia. So she, so you can read it.
Where is she from?
She's from Franconia.
she's not a Dalton resident, right?
Exactly, that's
Okay.
correct.
That's another one, just.
I'm sure there's plenty.
No.
Why post it, because it's not a resident?
What's your name, by the way?
What's your name?
My name's Lizzie, nice to meet you.
normally in the minutes I have to report everyone who's here, but I wasn't able to get your name.
Taylor Saints here.
Okay, thank you.
She's a Dalton resident, right?
Yeah, yeah,
As a resident of Dalton, yeah, if I just read it.
You got that right, I got.
I get new glasses so I can actually see it.
and this is also another Dalton resident.
Dalton resident.
So do you folks have a place on your website where you're kind of posting information? Like, I'm not being
And I get
kind
what
of a
you're
smart
saying.
aleck or anything like that.
We
But
have a
is there a
book.
place where people can, send a letter or have information posted for and against, whatever, so that people can kind of see both sides and get all the
Well, we
information?
started a book because, one, the website really is overloaded at this point. A lot of stuff should be archived, but there isn't enough room to post everybody's stuff. So if you start posting one, you gotta post everybody's. So there was a binder started like 3 or 4 months ago to put those letters in. If anybody wants to come in and read them, they can. But we can't possibly post them all. There's just not enough web space.
I guess,
I totally agree. You should be able to see all of it, but
right.
the only way we can give that to you is in a binder book. If I post this letter, then I gotta post 50 of the other ones, and
You just hang them all up outside on the board.
there's a whole binder. There's not enough room to hang them all outside. There's a binder that
I'll make another board for you.
you know. I totally agree. It would be nice if we had a huge, big web space, but we don't.
I guess the reason I'm asking is to avoid some of this, kind of what we're talking about tonight. And again, I'm trying to be very positive. I'm not trying to be blaming or anything like that. But this is going to be a very contentious issue. It already is.
And I think as a board, being accused of keeping secrets is not true.
But let me finish. You can let me finish.
Okay, I'll let you finish.
I don't want you to appear that it's secretive. That's my whole point. I'm not saying you're being secretive.
No, but others have.
I did. That'd be neat.
I didn't do that. I'm trying to be kind of the neutral person here, saying, look, it would help everybody if we had transparency for this, and they have this piece, and they can see that. And right now, what you hear are complaints that it doesn't feel transparent. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm just kind of just saying this is what the perception is. And if it's the perception that I see, it's the perception that others see too. Now, it may not be true, but it's the perception that's kind of getting us into this quagmire. And I've been kind of saying this off and on for the last 4 or 5 months. It appears that there are roadblocks put in front by the board in every step of this. And it appears very clearly the way the board is leaning towards this proposal. And that's not in the best interest of the town for the board to already have prejudged and made a decision on whether they're for this or against this. And that clearly...
I say that's wrong. I said that's your perception, but I can tell you that the host agreement is posted on the website, that are answered, which was done right in a public meeting, that the zoning board application needed to be filled out until we owe the people who have zoning, have voted for zoning, we owe them that process as well. So when that app is done and then we move forward, there's nothing to talk about.
I can only tell you what the perception is that for some people in the community. Not everyone perceives it the way I do. But the perception is there, and it's real, and...
Oh, you don't have to tell me. I've been a target, and the fire department's been a target for a long time. You don't have to tell me this side is real.
And I've been a target too. And anybody that speaks up against this is a target.
So
By an elected town official. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. That's not fair. It's not fair to you be targeted, just as it's not fair to me to be targeted just because I might have a different opinion than our Chief Petty Officer Swanee. So let's just let's get right to the point here. Okay, this is dividing this town, and everybody sees it.
Excuse me? I think that we can work on making sure that we have things available to the public. I think we have to listen to what you're saying in terms of perception of transparency, because I think our goal is that we are transparent. We've tried to discuss things in public meeting, in many respects. You know, our attorney counseled us that we should have a zoning application before we negotiate the host community agreement. So that has been our stance. Later on today or next week, we will, when we have a regular public meeting, we will discuss our response to Casella's letter in a public meeting. So our goal is to be transparent, and I think maybe we have some work to do. So I appreciate your comments, Chloe. And I think, you know, I just wanted a sense of what was going on with the Conservation Commission. I have not listened to the video. I know I've heard from people who were at the meeting, and I know I saw the letter, and it just should, something like that should be from the whole commission.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Should be reviewed by all the members of the commission and voted on.
Yeah. So Nancy, you wanted to say something?
Well, I just wanted to say, I mean, it sounds to me like it's kind of a simple solution, and maybe you're already doing it. So, do you have on the website those letters, and you have a binder? Anybody who wants to look at?
So, right, we have the binder, and
Right.
the website needs to be cleaned up.
Right, but can you just put it on the website to let people know
That there's a binder.
exists? I mean, that's.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. I mean, ideally, once we get caught up with stuff, and Lizzie is just brand new, and we don't want to throw too much at her like we already are. Is like, she's good with the website. So once she gets a little bit of breathing space, they want to clean up the website and make it more orderly. Because if you look at other towns, which we've looked at, they're a lot nicer. And they have more information, they're more intuitive. Ours is still kind of, you know, it's a little dated.
Nice things like dated.
Yeah. So,